right, back now on The Pulse, looking at all things people, power, and politics. All right, here to dive deeper into the government shutdown and that divide Democrats, and there's a whole bunch of other issues here. Oakland University political science professor Dave Dooley. Always good to see you, sir.
Good to see you, Charlie.
I appreciate that. Why is the government shut down?
Boy, it's only a half-hour show. Let's give you the Cliff Notes version.
Yeah.
The most basic answer is simply that in September, Congress couldn't do its job. Congress couldn't get its spending bills passed through both chambers and then on to the president.
And there was a deadline, right?
Deadline.
September.
End of the fiscal year, September 30th. New fiscal year, October 1st. Couldn't get their business finished.
Help me understand. Do the Republicans control the House?
Yes.
Do the Republicans control the Senate?
Yes.
Do the Republicans control the White House?
Yes.
Why can't they get the job done?
Because in the United States Senate, to do anything controversial, to do anything that's debatable even, it takes 60 votes because of it's not even obscure anymore, but a Senate rule that allows any senator to talk for as long as he or she likes about a particular topic, also known as the filibuster.
Would that be called the filibuster?
That's right. And
why do we have the filibuster?
That goes back more than 100 years.
Right.
The filibuster, when it's utilized, I'll say correctly, and actually that's not even fair, because I think this is what the Democrats were after this time. The filibuster, when used by the minority party, and that's what it is always used by, right? This was Democrats.
Well, it has to be.
Yes, for sure.
Logically, it has to be.
It is intended to create some compromise, right? Because Republicans they don't have enough votes to overcome a filibuster all by themselves. They needed 8 Democrats to come over. So what the filibuster would normally do is say for the Republicans to the Democrats, hey, look, what can we do to this bill to make it more palatable for you to come over and vote for us?
I think you said it forces parties to compromise.
Correct.
And it's been around for 100 years. Okay, I get it. Now, what is it that Democrats want that they're not getting in this?
What they have said from the beginning is that they wanted those Obamacare tax credits, those Obamacare subsidies to be extended beyond this year.
Is that part of the budget?
It used to be.
It was. But
it was. These were COVID-era extra dollars that were made available to folks who were buying Obamacare insurance on that
to help people pay for their premiums.
That's right.
Why won't the Republicans agree to that?
You'd have to ask them, but I think what they would say is, look, we're trying to find ways to trim the budget. We're trying to find ways to cut spending. Now, and they would also say, too, that, well, look, Democrats, you passed this bill. How come you sunsetted these provisions after so many years? Why didn't you just extend them indefinitely? So I think that it may have been a mistake on the part of the Democrats when they passed this legislation in 2021.
We had a procedural vote this last weekend. It seems that there's at least 8 Democrats now that are voting with the Republican majority in the Senate to get to that magic 60 number.
Right.
And they got it.
Yep.
Right? I guess they do.
They did.
That's just a procedural vote.
Correct.
So you got to get to the procedure before you can get the bill out of the Senate anyway.
That's right.
And then it will go to the House.
And here's the thing. You don't need 60 votes when it comes to final passage.
Yeah.
Many of those 8, I would imagine, you'd see at least some of them vote against the final bill.
Yeah, that's
and then
weird.
From there, it's got to go to the House. It should sail through that, barring any unforeseen circumstances, and then on to the president.
Why is the Democratic leadership upset at those 8 senators, those Democratic senators?
Because they want their party to vote together as a bloc. They want party discipline.
Which is
and they didn't get it.
But it's never good. If they did that, a filibuster would last forever.
That's true, and it lasted for 40-some days in this last round. So, and this is really where that the tension in the Democratic Party lies, right? Because everybody else on the Democratic side in the Senate voted against it. They're mad at those 8 that crossed over for giving Republicans a win.
Which party stands to lose more because of this, Republicans or Democrats?
Democrats.
Why would you say that?
Oh, for 2 reasons. Number one, they have they have uncovered this split in their party. The Democratic base is just furious with Democrats on Capitol Hill, at least these 8, for giving in. And I also think too that the Republicans are going to go to their constituents and the country and say, look, we had this deal on the table in September. Democrats are the ones that extended it for 40 days.
But didn't we just have an election just the other day where Democrats did better than Republicans?
They did. Absolutely.
Well, it seems like me it's hurting the Republicans then.
Oh, there's lots of reasons beyond the shutdown that went into those Democratic victories at last Tuesday.
I get about a minute here real quick. People are flying on airplanes. They're coming into Detroit, out of Detroit. If the government shutdown continues, do you think that we have a serious problem that the air traffic control in this country could stop?
Oh, I can't imagine that would happen.
But severely restricted.
Well, and I think that was the fear. I think that was why you saw some of these Democrats finally decide to cut a deal, and a limited deal that they had. Right? They didn't want this going any further, and coming up against Thanksgiving.
President Trump's going to give air traffic controllers that stay a $10,000 bonus. Can he do that?
Probably not, but, there's lots of stuff that the president says that he can do.
When are we going to get a vote, another vote? What do you think is going to happen this week? We're going to finalize it?
Shutdown will be over Thursday or Friday. However, we are going to be back in this same position at the end of January. That's, as you mentioned at the top of the show, this only goes through January 30th, and then we've got to do the same thing all over again.
Well, don't be a stranger. We'll have you back here to talk about why it's only going to January. Professor Dave Dooley, Oakland University, political science. Take your class. Appreciate it. Thank you.